The plot of Wuthering Heights. In the late winter months of 1801, a man named Lockwood rents a manor house called Thrushcross Grange. He goes to meet his landlord, called Heathcliff, a wealthy man who lives in Wuthering Heights, an estate across the moors from the Grange. One day Mr. Earnshaw goes to Liverpool and returns home with an orphan boy whom he will raise as his own child. The Earnshaw children, Catherine and Hindley, loathe Heathcliff, but Catherine quickly comes to love him, and the two soon grow inseparable, spending their days playing on the moors. After the death of Mrs. Earnshaw, Mr. Earnshaw grows to prefer Heathcliff to his own son, and when Hindley continues his cruelty towards Heathcliff, Mr. Earnshaw sends Hindley to college, keeping Heathcliff nearby. As the years pass, Mr. Earnshaw dies and Hindley inherits Wuthering Heights. Once an orphan, later a pampered and favourite son, Heathcliff now finds himself treated as a common labourer, forced to work in the fields. However, he still continues his relationship with Catherine. One night they wander to Thrushcross Grange, hoping to tease Elgar and Isabella Linton, the cowardly, snobbish children who live there. Catherine gets bitten by a dog and has to stay home. By the time Catherine returns, she has become infatuated with Elgar, and her relationship with Heathcliff grows even more complicated. When Frances, the wife of Hindley, dies after giving birth to a baby boy named Hareton, Hindley descends into the depths of alcoholism and behaves even more cruelly and abusive towards Heathcliff. Eventually, Catherine's desires for social advancement prompts her to become engaged to Elgar Linton. Despite her overpowering love for Heathcliff, Heathcliff runs away from Wuthering Heights, staying away for 3 years and returning shortly after Catherine and Elgar's marriage. Having come into a vast and mysterious wealth, Heathcliff dubiously lends money to the drunken Hindley, knowing that Hindley will increase his debts and fall into deeper despondency. Hindley dies and Heathcliff inherits the manor. Heathcliff wants to marry Isabella Linton, thus being in line to inherit Thrushcross Grange. Heathcliff is also abusive towards Isabella. Catherine becomes ill and gives birth to a daughter and dies. Heathcliff begs her spirit to remain on this earth, so she may take whatever form she wills. Shortly thereafter, Isabella flees to London and gives birth to Heathcliff's son, named Linton after the family. 13 years pass, during which Nellie Dean serves as Catherine's daughter's nursemaid at Thrushcross Grange. Young Catherine is beautiful and headstrong like her mother, but her personality is modified by her father's gentler influence. Catherine goes on to the moors and meets Hareton. Soon afterwards, Isabella dies and Linton comes to live with Heathcliff. Heathcliff treats his sickly, whining son even more cruelly than he treated the boy's mother, Isabella. 3 years later, Catherine meets Heathcliff on the moors and makes a visit to Wuthering Heights to meet Linton. She and Linton began a secret romance conducted entirely through letters. Very old school. When Nellie destroys Catherine's collection of letters, the girl begins sneaking out at night to spend time with her frail young lover. He requests that she nurse him back to health. One day, as Elgar Linton grows ill and nears death, Heathcliff lures Nellie and Catherine back to Wuthering Heights and holds them prisoner until Catherine marries Linton. Soon after the marriage, Elgar dies and his death is quickly followed by the death of sickly Linton. Heathcliff forces Catherine to live in Wuthering Heights and act as a common servant, while he rents Thrushcross Grange to Lockwood. Nellie concludes her story. Lockwood is appalled and ends his tenancy at Thrushcross Grange and returns to London. Although Catherine originally mocked Hareton's ignorance and illiteracy, Catherine grows to love Hareton as they live together at Wuthering Heights. Heathcliff becomes more and more obsessed with the memory of the elder Catherine, to the extent he begins speaking to her ghost. Shortly after a night spent walking on the moors, Heathcliff dies. Urton and young Catherine inherit Wuthering Heights and Thrushcross Grange, and they plan to marry on the next New Year's Day. After hearing the end of the story, Lockwood goes to visit the graves of Catherine the Elder and Heathcliff. Frequently asked questions about Wuthering Heights. What are the main themes of Wuthering Heights? Wuthering Heights explores a variety of different kinds of love. Love on display within the novel include Heathcliff and Catherine's love, which is all-consuming and passionate for each other, which is while noble in its purity, it is terrible and destructive. In contrast between the love between Catherine and Edgar, which is proper and civilized rather than passionate. Thank you for watching this plot overview and summary of Wuthering Heights. Please like, share and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.